Level 1. The applicant. You are 23 in Arlington, Virginia. Your checking account holds $1,800. Your job title is Junior Research Assistant. Your real talent is remembering what people avoid saying. A bent blue passport sits beside your laptop. You keep touching its cracked corner. You dream about rooms without public names. You imagine secrets moving through your hands. Then your first application disappears into silence. No interview arrives. No dramatic rejection appears. 11 months simply vanish. You learn the first CIA lesson outside CIA. Nobody owes you an explanation. You submitted through MyLink while standing inside the United States. You met the visible rules. You are a citizen. You are over 18. You will move near Washington. None of that makes you useful yet. You spend the next year becoming harder to ignore. You study a difficult language before sunrise. You read foreign newspapers during lunch. You take a lower-paying research job with better regional access. Your mother thinks you are wasting time. Your girlfriend, Maya, thinks you are hiding a plan. She is correct. You cannot tell her where you applied. The agency itself warns applicants to use discretion. So you describe the dream as government work. The phrase sounds beige enough to survive dinner. Your second submission produces an invitation. The email is ordinary. Your hands are not. Screening follows. Testing follows. Interviews keep returning to judgment. They ask about failures, loyalties, debts, travel, drugs, lies, friends, and foreign contacts. You prepare heroic answers. The interviewer ignores them. She asks why you omitted a college roommate. You say the friendship felt unimportant. She asks whether you decide what matters to investigators. The room becomes very still. You understand the trap. The agency can forgive history more easily than concealment. You correct the record. You disclose the roommate, the argument, and the embarrassing ending. Your polished image cracks. Your candidacy survives. Months later, a conditional offer arrives. You celebrate with Maya using supermarket cake. She asks when you begin. You tell her you do not know. That answer will define your life. Level 2. The trainee. You are 25 when the government enters your biography. Investigators speak with neighbors, supervisors, co-workers, and old friends. They examine conflicts, pressure points, and divided loyalties. Your former roommate receives a call. Your high school coach receives another. Maya learns that privacy can disappear without scandal. You complete the long security paperwork. Every address becomes evidence. Every overseas friendship gains weight. Then comes the polygraph. It is mandatory. The examiner explains the process without smiling. Rubber tubes circle your chest. Sensors touch your fingers. A blood pressure cuff tightens around your arm. The machine is less frightening than your own memory. You answer carefully, then notice careful sounds rehearsed, so you stop performing. You answer plainly. Medical exams follow. Psychological evaluation follows. Waiting follows everything. Your file moves through rooms you will never see. Finally, the official offer arrives. You cross the seal at headquarters. The marble floor looks cleaner than your future. You enter the Directorate of Operations. The title sounds cinematic. The schedule does not. Foundational training runs for an extended period. Some training occurs outside Washington. You drive by day and night. You cross uneven ground in bad weather. You make decisions while exhausted and timed. You learn that glamour dies under fluorescent lights. Your instructors grade preparation, judgment, restraint, and recovery. You fail an exercise because you chase the exciting clue. The quiet detail mattered more. You write the lesson in a small black notebook. Excitement is usually expensive. Maya moves with you. She gets a job near DuPont Circle. She tells friends you work in federal consulting. You hate how easily the sentence forms. Your classmates vanish into different career tracks. Some become targeting officers. Some manage collection. Some support operations from headquarters. You continue toward casework. You learn languages, cultures, reporting, security, and human behavior. You learn what must never be improvised. You also learn what cannot be taught. People do not risk everything because your briefing slide looks good. They risk things for fear, anger, money, belief, revenge, survival, or love. Your task is understanding which force is real. Graduation brings no public badge. Your parents receive no proud photograph. Maya buys you a silver pen. She engraves only your initials. It becomes the first object in your career that tells the truth. Level 3, the case officer. You are 28 when your first overseas posting begins. Your official biography changes, your private one narrows. You and Maya rent a clean apartment in a crowded capital. The balcony faces another concrete balcony. Your neighbors believe you hold a respectable government position. That statement is true enough. Your real work starts behind controlled doors. A case officer spots, assesses, develops, recruits, and handles non-American sources. The definition fits inside one sentence. The consequences do not. You study people with access to protected information. You ask who might speak, why they might speak, and what speaking could destroy. Your first promising contact is a transportation official named Anton. He enjoys expensive watches and complains about his ministry. You mistake complaint for willingness. You spend weeks building an assessment. Anton eventually refuses another meeting. He becomes colder, then disappears from your orbit. Your supervisor reads the record. She circles 3 moments you interpreted as progress. They were warnings. You return home after midnight. Maya is asleep beside an untouched dinner plate. You wash the silver pen because your hands feel dirty. Months later, another possibility emerges. Layla works near decisions your government cannot see. She is careful, underpaid, and furious about corruption. You do not seduce her with a speech. You listen. You test whether her access is real. You test whether her reasons survive pressure. When she finally agrees to provide information, nothing feels triumphant. She asks what happens if she is exposed. You explain the risks honestly. Your voice sounds calm. Your stomach does not. Her reporting answers an urgent question. Analysts compare it with other streams. Senior officials receive a clearer picture. Nobody outside the chain knows her name. Nobody outside your apartment knows why you stopped sleeping. You receive praise in a secure room. Maya receives another canceled weekend. She begins measuring your absences instead of your promises. You tell her the work matters. She says that does not make the marriage automatic. You cannot describe Layla. You cannot explain the fear. You can only say you are sorry. The apology keeps becoming smaller. Your access grows. Your vocabulary shrinks. You once wanted entry into rooms without names. Now you enter them daily. The door closes behind you. Most nights, part of you stays inside. Level 4, the senior case officer. You are 34 and no longer surprised by danger. That worries you more than danger itself. 2 overseas tours have hardened your routines. You notice exits before furniture. You remember faces after one glance. You hear hesitation inside ordinary sentences. Younger officers ask how you remain calm. You do not tell them calm often arrives after fear burns out. Your new assignment is harder. The target service watches foreigners closely. Digital traces travel farther than footsteps. Familiar methods become liabilities. You work with technical, digital, analytic, and support officers. The lone spy fantasy dies completely. Every useful operation rests on a crowded, hidden team. You handle several sources, each carrying different risks. One wants money for a sick parent. One wants revenge against a superior. One believes his government is steering toward disaster. You must never confuse their motives. You must never confuse affection with control. Layla remains in your memory, but her file belongs to the mission. You receive a message that her access may be compromised. The station debates what comes next. Every option protects something and endangers something else. You argue for her safety. Headquarters argues for caution. The final decision reaches you in a short cable. You carry it like a stone. She leaves her country alive, but loses her profession, home, language, and ordinary future. The intelligence success becomes her permanent exile. You visit the memorial wall after returning to headquarters. Stars cut into marble represent officers who died in service. Some names remain absent from public display. You understand the architecture now. Sacrifice is honored, then protected by silence. Maya has built her own career without your help. Your son, Daniel, is 5. He believes airports cause fathers to disappear. You promise to attend his school play. A crisis shifts your flight. You watch the recording alone in a secure apartment. Daniel wears cardboard wings. He scans the audience during every song. Your chair remains empty. The station chief later recommends you for promotion. The evaluation praises judgment under pressure. You read it twice. The sentence feels like an accusation. You have become excellent at separating urgent from important. Your family keeps living inside the difference. Level 5. The branch chief. You are 39 when headquarters gives you people instead of one operation.
Your branch occupies secure offices filled with maps, cables, legal reviews, and cold coffee. You supervise officers working against one regional problem. Some are overseas, some are preparing to leave, some are returning with smiles that look assembled. Your decisions now travel through other bodies. You approve plans, challenge assumptions, allocate attention, and defend resources. You also stop weak operations before momentum becomes vanity. That makes you unpopular. It also keeps people alive. A young case officer presents a promising source. The access looks extraordinary. The reporting looks almost too clean. The room wants success. You ask what would be true if the source were controlled by an adversary. Silence spreads. Analysts revisit inconsistencies. Counterintelligence officers pull another thread. The opportunity begins collapsing. The young officer feels humiliated. You recognize yourself in his anger. Years earlier, you chased excitement and missed the quiet detail. You hand him your old black notebook. The first useful sentence remains inside. Excitement is usually expensive. He keeps the operation from becoming a disaster. Your branch earns no medal for avoiding a trap. Prevention rarely photographs well. At home, Maya stops asking when the pace will slow. She asks whether you even want it to. Daniel is 10. He knows your office cannot receive surprise visits. He knows some questions produce the same tired answer. Government work, important meeting, another trip. You attend family therapy under a bland insurance description. The therapist asks what you fear losing. You say operational focus. Maya laughs once, without humor. The therapist repeats the question. You finally say, your family. The words feel classified because you rarely admit them. Promotion makes you visible inside the building. Senior managers request your judgment. Foreign liaison officers recognize your title. You now influence operations in countries you never visit. Yet your badge still opens only certain doors. Need to know follows you upward. Nobody sees everything. You begin learning the agency's real shape. Power is not one tower. It is thousands of compartments touching at controlled edges. You become one of those edges. Every day, information reaches you because others trust your discretion. Every night, the people closest to you receive less. Level 6, the Deputy Chief of Station. You are 43 when another capital becomes home. This time, your family arrives behind you. Daniel is 14 and furious before the airplane lands. Maya has left a promotion to follow the assignment. Nobody says sacrifice during the welcome briefing. The word would be too honest. You serve beneath the Chief of Station. The Chief is the officer in charge of the CIA station. You become the person who keeps that command functioning. You coordinate operations, personnel, security, reporting, and partnerships. Problems reach you after simpler solutions fail. A source misses contact. An officer shows signs of burnout. A liaison service demands more than Washington wants to give. A political crisis turns peaceful streets into barricades. You move between secure meetings and family dinners without enough time to become human between them. Daniel hates the guarded school route. He hates your vague explanations. He hates being told not to post locations. One evening, he asks whether your job made him strange. You say every family has rules. He says other families know why. The sentence lands harder than any hostile question. At work, a collection opportunity appears during the crisis. The potential intelligence could answer a question reaching senior policymakers. The operation also carries serious diplomatic risk. Your younger self would focus on access. Your current job forces a wider calculation. You bring in lawyers, security, analysts, technical officers, and headquarters managers. You recommend a narrower course. Washington approves it. The result is useful, incomplete, and defensible. Nobody cheers. That is how mature success often looks.
Then an officer under your supervision makes a serious error. No lives are lost, but a relationship with the host service fractures. The chief takes responsibility upward. You take responsibility inward. You remove the officer from sensitive duties. He has 2 children and a mortgage. He asks for another chance. You remember every second chance that built you. You also remember the source whose life became exile. Leadership becomes choosing which mercy creates the larger danger. You sign the reassignment. That night, Maya finds you sitting on the kitchen floor. You cannot explain the case. She sits beside you anyway. Your marriage survives through shapes of truth, not details. Wait. Level 7, the Chief of Station. You are 47 when the country brief ends with one sentence.
The station is yours. There is no crown, only encrypted systems, secure rooms, guarded vehicles, and a responsibility that follows you into sleep. Every CIA officer in the station now works beneath your authority. You manage human intelligence operations and relationships with foreign services. You answer to headquarters. You also operate beside an ambassador whose priorities may overlap without matching yours. Diplomacy wants stability. Intelligence wants truth. Sometimes truth is destabilizing. Your morning begins before sunrise with overnight reporting. By breakfast, you have reviewed threats, collection gaps, personnel concerns, and a source emergency. By noon, you are sitting across from a foreign intelligence chief who smiles while withholding half the room. He knows you are doing the same. Liaison is cooperation built inside permanent suspicion. A major source offers information about a developing crisis. The reporting is potentially decisive. It is also impossible to verify quickly. Washington wants confidence. The ambassador wants caution. Your officers want permission. The source wants protection for his family. 4 clocks begin counting against one decision. You authorize limited collection while demanding corroboration. Analysts find supporting evidence. The warning moves upward. Policymakers gain time. The crisis does not become the catastrophe feared. Publicly, nothing happens. Privately, your station is praised. The source receives no ceremony. He receives a new life with old grief. You have reached the rank you once imagined as mastery. Instead, command feels like organized doubt. Daniel begins college in the United States. He stops answering some calls. Maya returns home early to rebuild her career. You remain behind for another year. Your secure residence becomes painfully quiet. A cook leaves dinner warming under foil. You eat beside briefing books. One night, a junior officer asks whether the sacrifices become easier. You almost give the official answer. Mission, service, country, purpose. All are true. None answer the question. You tell her the sacrifices become familiar. Familiar is not easier. When your tour ends, officers line a secure hallway. They cannot post photographs. They cannot explain your work. They shake your hand, then return to their compartments. You leave the country carrying one suitcase. The station keeps your decisions. Your family keeps their consequences. Level 8, the Assistant Director. You are 51 when the map becomes global. You lead a mission center focused on a major regional threat. Mission centers combine operations, analysis, science, technology, digital expertise, and support. The structure destroys your old belief that collection is the center. Collection without analysis is noise. Analysis without access is guesswork. Technology without judgment is expensive confusion. Support without recognition is still survival. Your meetings now contain every discipline. You set priorities that determine which secrets thousands of officers pursue. A question written on your briefing pad can redirect satellites, language teams, technical research, human networks, and diplomatic attention. The power is quiet enough to feel unreal. The accountability is not. You brief the CIA director. You coordinate with the wider intelligence community. You defend budgets before people who cannot be told every detail publicly. You explain failures to oversight staff who know exactly which questions hurt. A major analytic dispute divides your center. One group sees preparation for aggression. Another sees coercive signaling. Operations reporting supports both interpretations. Technical data remains incomplete. The White House wants clarity by morning. You cannot manufacture certainty. You order the dissent preserved. The final assessment presents the judgment, confidence level, and alternative view. A senior official calls the ambiguity frustrating. You agree. Reality has not signed a customer service agreement. Your center later proves partly right and partly wrong. That outcome is common and politically inconvenient. You begin understanding why intelligence leaders age in photographs. Daniel graduates without you. A sudden briefing replaces the ceremony. Maya sends one picture. Your son wears a blue gown and your silver pen in his pocket. You stare at the image inside a secure office. The pen was meant to celebrate your beginning. Now it marks another absence. You call Daniel after midnight. He says he understands. You hear that understanding has become distance. Inside the agency, your reputation reaches its peak. People describe you as balanced, operationally credible, and hard to pressure. Outside, your neighbors think you are a senior civil servant. Both descriptions are accurate. Neither knows you. You have gained the ability to move the entire machine. You have nearly lost the ability to leave it. Level 9. The Operations Director. You are 55 when the Directorate of Operations becomes your responsibility. Case officers, targeting officers, collection managers, staff operations officers, language specialists, specialized skills officers, and paramilitary officers now sit somewhere inside your professional chain.
Many live undercover. Many spend large parts of their lives overseas. Their successes arrive classified. Their failures can become history. You set tradecraft standards, you shape assignments, you decide where scarce expertise goes. You advise the CIA director on human intelligence and covert action. You also carry the names of officers placed in danger by national decisions. The director asks whether an operation can be done. Your job is not merely answering yes. You must ask whether it should be done, under what authority, with what risks, and what happens after success. Covert action requires presidential authorization through a finding. Congressional intelligence committees must be kept informed under law, including significant failures. Lawyers occupy the room because secrecy is not permission. Oversight follows the hidden work, even when the public cannot see it. A proposed action promises strategic advantage. It also risks lives and diplomatic rupture. Advocates present the best case, critics present the worst. You notice both sides quietly editing uncertainty. You force it back onto the table. The president eventually authorizes a narrower version. Your officers execute within the approved boundaries. The immediate objective succeeds. The political aftermath remains messy. Every clean arrow on a briefing slide becomes somebody's complicated country. You visit the memorial wall after the operation. More stars exist than when you first stood there. You know stories attached to some. You know families who cannot publicly explain their grief. Maya now lives separately, though neither of you uses the word divorce. Daniel works in another city. He tells people his father served in government. The phrase returns from your beginning, beige and technically true. You reach for the silver pen during meetings. Its engraving has nearly worn smooth. You possess more secret knowledge than your younger self could imagine, yet you cannot use that knowledge to repair one dinner, one school play, or one graduation. Power gives you options at national scale. It gives you no authority over time. Level 10. The Director. You are 58 when the president calls. Career officers rarely reach this door. The position is not simply another internal promotion. The president nominates you. The Senate examines your record in public and closed sessions. Your name appears on television beside arguments about events you cannot fully discuss. Daniel watches strangers describe your character. Maya sits behind you during confirmation. The silver pen rests inside your jacket. When the vote succeeds, you become director of the Central Intelligence Agency. You report to the Director of National Intelligence. You manage intelligence collection, analysis, covert action, counterintelligence, personnel, budgets, and foreign liaison relationships. The title sounds limitless. The law is more precise.
You have no police, subpoena, or law enforcement powers. You cannot command reality. You cannot guarantee warning. You cannot erase risk. Every morning, the world arrives in folders. Wars, coups, weapons, cyber intrusions, terrorism, rival services, fragile governments, and frightened sources compete for attention. You brief the president with judgments built by thousands of unseen officers. You must be direct without becoming political. You must be useful without becoming obedient. A president can dislike the truth. Your duty is still carrying it into the room. One afternoon, reporting suggests an ally is hiding a dangerous move. The evidence is strong, not complete. Admitting uncertainty may weaken the warning. Hiding uncertainty may corrupt it. Everyone watches your wording. You state the judgment. You state the confidence. You state what could prove it wrong. The room grows cold. You have spent 35 years learning that courage often sounds unexciting. Months later, the warning proves justified. Nobody celebrates for long. Another folder is already open. At night, you walk alone through headquarters. You pass the seal, the flags, and the memorial wall. You remember the bent passport beside your first laptop. You remember wanting rooms without public names. Now, the largest hidden room belongs to you. It feels smaller than expected. Maya waits in your office after a late ceremony. Daniel has sent a photograph of his newborn daughter. She grips a silver pen with both hands. Your old engraving is almost gone. For once, no crisis interrupts. You sit beside Maya and study the picture. The agency gave you access to other people's secrets. It took years before you faced your own. You saved the country pieces at a time. You lost your life the same way.